The radar operator's coffee went cold 3 hours ago. His eyes burned from staring at the green sweep of his screen aboard the Shandong carrier group. 47 surface vessels. 200 aircraft. The largest naval armada China had assembled since ever. Then the screen flickered. For exactly 1.3 seconds, something appeared at the edge of detection. Then, nothing. The operator rubbed his eyes. A ghost. A glitch. Had to be. It wasn't. 300 miles away, at 50,000 feet, Lieutenant Commander Sarah Chen pressed her mask tighter against her face. The oxygen tasted metallic. Familiar. Her gloved hand rested on the throttle of the most lethal air superiority platform ever conceived by human engineering. The F-22 Raptor. Invisible, undetectable, inevitable. Below her, an entire fleet had no idea they were already dead. The question wasn't if she could destroy them. The question was, which ones first? But here's what keeps Chinese generals awake at night. Sarah wasn't alone up there. And what happened next would rewrite the rules of modern warfare forever. Let's rewind. Because to understand why this single aircraft terrifies every military strategist from Moscow to Beijing, you need to understand the world it was born into. The 1980s. The Cold War was a chess match played with nuclear pieces. America's F-15 Eagle ruled the skies, but Soviet engineers weren't sleeping. They were building, planning, catching up. The Pentagon saw the future. It was terrifying. Within a decade, Russian air defenses would render American fighters visible, shootable, killable. The US needed something revolutionary. Something that could penetrate the most sophisticated radar networks on Earth and emerge untouched. They needed a ghost. Lockheed Martin answered the call. Development began in the shadows. Classified. The project consumed billions. It broke engineers. It pushed material science to the absolute bleeding edge of human capability. The result? A fifth-generation, single-seat, twin-engine air dominance fighter that didn't just match the threat. It eliminated the concept of threat altogether. The F-22 Raptor entered service in 2005, and nothing has been the same since. Think about what failure would have meant. Without air superiority, ground troops become targets, carriers become coffins, supply lines become death sentences. Every conflict America has won since World War II started with one thing: owning the sky. Lose that, and the dominoes fall fast. Taiwan, Japan, the Philippines, Australia, the entire Pacific Rim, suddenly vulnerable. A new world order, written in Mandarin. The Raptor isn't just an aircraft, it's a guarantee. But guarantees require proof. And the proof? That's where things get truly terrifying for America's enemies. Let's talk numbers. Because the F-22 doesn't just win, it humiliates. At the heart of this beast sits the Pratt & Whitney F-119 engine. Not one, two. Each one delivering thrust in the 35,000-pound force class. Combined, that's enough raw power to punch through the sound barrier without afterburners, a capability called supercruise that no other fighter on Earth can match at this scale. Breathtaking speeds, impossible altitudes. The Raptor operates where the air is so thin, most aircraft would simply fall out of the sky. But speed is just the beginning. The real terror is invisibility. That paint job, you see? It's not paint. It's a precisely engineered radar-absorbing coating so sophisticated that the application process alone used to consume 1,600 hours of labor per aircraft. Think about that. 40 weeks of meticulous, layer-by-layer application just to make one jet disappear. Today, a partnership with robotics companies slashed that to 300 hours. Repeatable. Perfect. Every spray at the same thickness. Every Raptor equally invisible. And what does invisible mean in practice? Russian S-400 systems, the most advanced surface-to-air missiles money can buy, they're looking for something the size of a commercial airliner. The F-22's radar cross-section? About the size of a marble. A marble moving at Mach 2. Now compare that to what the enemy fields. Chinese J-20s, Russian Su-57s, both impressive on paper, both visible, both targets. The Raptor doesn't fight other aircraft, it hunts them. If you believe in American air dominance, drop a Raptor in the comments right now. Let the world know where you stand. Let's simulate it. Day 1 of the Pacific Conflict, 2027. Aero 400 hours. The Taiwan Strait is a parking lot of Chinese naval vessels, amphibious assault ships, destroyers. The Fujian supercarrier launching wave after wave of J-15 fighters. American satellites track everything. Indopacom gives the order. 8 F-22 Raptors launch from Kadena Air Base, Okinawa. They climb through 40,000 feet in minutes. At 50,000 feet, they level off. Invisible, silent, watching. Inside the cockpit, the pilot's hands move across displays that would look like science fiction to anyone who flew 20 years ago. The avionics, advanced beyond anything publicly acknowledged, paint a picture of the battlespace that enemy commanders can only dream of. Every Chinese aircraft appears as a glowing icon. Range, speed, heading, weapon status. The F-22 knows what the enemy is doing before they know what they're doing. First contact. A flight of 4 J-20 stealth fighters rises to intercept something. They don't know what. Their radar shows nothing. But satellite data suggests American assets in the area. They're searching blind. 300 miles away, the Raptor flight commander makes a decision. Fox 3. AIM-120. AMRAAM missiles drop from internal weapons bays. No external hardpoints to betray their position. No radar bloom from opening bay doors. The missiles guide themselves on internal navigation before their own seekers activate. The J-20 pilots never see it coming. 4 explosions light the pre-dawn sky. $4 billion of Chinese aerospace engineering, gone, in the time it takes to exhale. The Raptors are already turning, banking at 9 Gs. The pilots feel it. That crushing pressure against the chest that no training fully prepares you for. Their G-suits inflate, forcing blood back toward the brain. Maximum G, minimum radius turn. Then something remarkable. The flight leader initiates a Cobra maneuver, dynamic deceleration. The Raptor's nose pitches up violently, the aircraft practically standing on its tail. Airspeed bleeds instantly. The pursuing missile, confused by the impossible physics, overshoots. That wasn't in the intelligence reports. Below, the carrier group scrambles. SAM sights activate. Targeting radars sweep the sky. They find nothing. Because the Raptor isn't where they're looking. It's executing a J-turn, also called the Herbst maneuver, using thrust vectoring nozzles to achieve angles of attack that would rip the wings off any conventional fighter. The aircraft pivots around its own vertical axis in a pedal turn that defies aerodynamic logic. Enemy operators stare at their screens. Where is it? The answer comes in the form of joint direct attack munitions dropping from internal bays. GPS guided, precision targeted. The Shandong's flight deck erupts in fire. 2,000 sailors learn a terrible truth that morning. You cannot fight what you cannot see. By sunrise, Chinese air power over the strait has been reduced by 60%. Not a single Raptor has been scratched. This isn't fiction. This is capability. This is doctrine. The training that made it possible? Dogfighting exercises designed to push pilots beyond human limits. One-on-one engagements against America's best. Larger-scale mock battles where the only rule is win. Real-world scenarios. Tactical simulations against adversaries with comparable technology. Energy management. Situational awareness. Split-second decisions that mean life or death. And behind every sortie, a maintenance machine more sophisticated than most countries' entire air forces. Routine inspections at specific intervals. Phase checks encompassing systems, engines, avionics, and structural components. Lockheed Martin's partnership with the Air Force integrates complex sustainment efforts, reducing costs, improving responsiveness. Even the M61A2 Gatling gun, A 20mm rotary cannon, capable of shredding anything that gets within visual range, receives meticulous attention. Lubrication, component examination, ammunition feeding system verification. Because when a pilot pulls that trigger, failure is not an option. So where does this leave us? The F-22 Raptor. 186 airframes delivered before production ceased. Each one a national treasure. Each one irreplaceable. Why did production stop? The official answer points to costs. The design and avionics were becoming dated. Modernization would have been substantial and might not have addressed every limitation. But here's what they don't tell you in press releases. The Raptor was too good. It made allies nervous about the technology gap. It made enemies certain they could never catch up through conventional means. It made war planners realize that air superiority had been solved, at least for a generation. The retirement, such as it is, led to something even more ambitious. The Next Generation Air Dominance Program, NGAD. A classified initiative that aims to create a fighter that will eventually replace the F-22 and continue the legacy of American air supremacy. Details are scarce, but whispers suggest unmanned wingmen, AI-assisted combat, directed energy weapons, capabilities we can't even imagine yet. The F-22 set new standards for stealth technology, advanced avionics, and maneuverability. It reshaped the dynamics of aerial combat. It proved that with enough ingenuity, enough investment, and enough will, a nation can guarantee its security for decades. But here's the question that should keep you watching. The Raptor was conceived to counter Soviet threats that never fully materialized. NGAD is being built to counter China, a nation with the largest navy on Earth, a nation that launches more ships per year than America has in total. A nation that has studied every weakness, every gap, every vulnerability. The F-22 gave America 30 years of uncontested dominance. What happens when that window closes? The Next Generation Air Dominance Program represents humanity's next leap in aerial warfare. But will it be ready in time? Will the production numbers be sufficient? Will the cost overruns cripple it before the first prototype flies? Russia is developing the Su-75 Checkmate. China's J-35 promises carrier-based stealth. Hypersonic missiles are rewriting the rules of engagement entirely. The F-22 Raptor, an icon of modern air power, has left an indelible mark on military aviation. Its stealth, its agility, its unmatched capabilities. These have defined an era, but eras end. The next chapter is being written right now, in classified hangars, by engineers who grew up watching Raptors dominate the sky. They know what they're building toward. They know the stakes. Do you? Subscribe now. Because the story of American air power is far from over, and what comes next will determine whether freedom still has wings.